Welcome back to Fly King Drone. I decided after doing that first initial test of trying to use the MJX Bugs 16 Pro for inspecting a roof to try and give it, another shot at it. And this time in the location where I was filming, I was able to get 18 satellites as opposed to the 15 I had at the previous test. And it really made a difference in keeping the drone steady, even though the wind was blowing significantly more at this site. So as I was flying, the controls responded a bit better. I could definitely line up with the roof line and fly a straighter line along the roof. For some reason, even the camera seemed to focus a bit better, maybe partially because I was more comfortable flying the drone a bit closer to the roof. But I was able to really kind of line up with the roof and fly some pretty straight patterns across the roof line to take a look at how things were looking. Now this is a mobile home where the two halves are joined together at the location. So the whole thing's built in a factory, the two halves, and then they're brought together at the building location here, the home site, and assembled together. And then along the ridge where the two halves join, they have to install the shingles in the field. And that's what we were concerned about, is did they do a good job of putting the two halves together? So I wanted to be able to see if this drone could really get a good view of the roof, go along there and see if these shingles that were put on in the field connected the way they should. Were there any gaps? Is there any locations where if the wind were strong, that there might get water up underneath the shingles? And with 18 satellites for the GPS, it definitely made a much better flight. And you can see that the focus is significantly better, because I did see, even on my iPhone, sending the video down, I'm like, this looks a little suspicious. And you can see this set of shingles has a little bit of buckle in where they're joining together. And so what I did in post is I did take a little section of this video here coming up, and you can see that there's just that little bit of divot there in that top set of shingles where the two halves are joined together. So what I did was I took just a few seconds of that footage, just this right here, and what I did is then zoomed it in and stretched it out. So I'm actually playing it back a little bit slower so I could get a better view. And it does look, I'm probably going to need to actually physically get up there on a ladder and take a much closer look at that spot. So overall, the Bugs 16 Pro did a much better job in this second review of the roof. I could fly closer to things with 18 GPSs, and even though the wind was blowing a little bit stronger at this site, it was much easier to get down close to the roof. At this point where I'm flying right here, I'm probably flying 1 to 2 feet off the roof. I could do that not because of the video camera through my iPhone, but I'm actually standing on a hill back behind the house that is putting me almost eye level with the roof. So I could actually see from about 30 or 40 feet away how close I was to the roof. And you can see here, you can really get some good images if you can fly close. In this, where they join the roof together, they haven't completed getting everything watertight, and I wanted to see how that looked. And it did not hold very steady. And no fault of the drone, the wind is coming right off that roof and probably doubling its speed. So it just was having a really hard time. I'm trying to hold it steady and just let the GPS steady it, but it just really couldn't hold it that steady. But overall, much better images from doing the survey of the roof with the Bugs 16 Pro. So I'm very pleased with it. I hope you will be too. Thanks for watching.